to seek security. Gene Marks, CPA, small business advocate, also a contributor to the Washington Post on small business and public policy. Gene, nice to see you. This is where public policy, national security, and financial security all intersect. Do we see a big drop? Dow futures are down for tomorrow, but is this sort of a blip or a drop?
Yeah, you know, Leo, I'm not recommending to any of my clients to go and sell all of their assets. Clearly, we have to be aware. But, you know, it reminds me of a story last year. I was in Australia, which was 14 hours ahead of us. And I remember it was during the NBA Finals, and a friend was texting me, and he was saying to me, well, now that you're in the future, who's going to win Game 5? You know, well, we actually see the future. I mean, the Japan market, the South Korean markets, they're down, but they're only down about 1%. It's not great, but it's not catastrophic. Swiss franc is up, you know, in times of safety. Also, gold is up as well, but again, not significant. Now, remember, Japan just had a missile flown over its territory last week. South Korea is bordering a country that just detonated, allegedly, a hydrogen bomb. You would think they would be up in arms, but frankly, their market reaction has been somewhat muted. So I'm looking in the U.S., we're going to be seeing about the same thing. I think it's still investors in the U.S. are going to be more interested in tax reform and recovery, and you know, after Hurricane Harvey, than what's going on with North Korea for the short term.
Well, you bring up an important point, because not only does Wall Street really get back to work tomorrow, but Congress gets back to work this week. They've got 12 days to deal. They said they want to deal with Harvey, but they have to deal with the debt ceiling and deal with that before a government shutdown. And also now they say they want to deal with tax reform. We've sort of seen the flattening, really, of the Trump rally. It was, you know, the market's been up about 20% since the election, and now it's pretty much flat, up a little bit, down a little bit. Is this now the time that things really matter in Congress in terms of whether they're going to get something done, and if so, a possible real negative reaction?
I can tell you this much, Charlie. You know, my firm has about 600 small and medium-sized clients. I have a lot of people that read the stuff that I write, mostly small, medium-sized, and some larger companies. And you know, Leland, if Congress cannot pass tax reform this fall, it will, in my opinion, mean the end of the Republicans governing in the next midterm election. I mean, the business community is waiting on this, and I think we're seeing that reflected in the markets. You're right, it has been flat over the past couple of months, and right now, whereas we're heading into the fall, a lot of the business leaders that I'm speaking to, they want to see Congress take action on what was such a pivotal promise. You
want Congress to take action. The president wants Congress to take action. He put an op-ed in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel newspaper calling on Congress to pass his tax reform. Here's what it says. Our plan will dramatically reduce income taxes for American workers and families. It will nearly double the standard deduction to help families get ahead. It will make our corporate tax code far more simple and fair. It will put money back into the pockets of the people who earned it. And it will bring back American jobs, making our businesses competitive once again. What this lacks, and what the president's speech in Missouri lacked, was any kind of real details. From what you can understand, does Congress or the White House have a tax plan that is ready to go that they can vote on?
Yeah, you know what, Leland, not only is there a tax plan, but it's going to be released right after Labor Day. I mean, while all of this has been going on in other news, there is something called the Committee of Six, who has been meeting in Washington regularly over the past few months. And this has been representatives from Congress, Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, as well as representatives from the White House like Steve Mnuchin and Gary Cohn and some others. And they have been formulating a very detailed tax proposal, which they are going to be releasing very shortly, and they don't want to make the same mistakes that was made with health care reform. So with all of the president's cheerleading and lack of paying attention to detail or disclosing the details in his plan, just wait, it's coming, those details are. And I really do think a lot of individuals, and expectedly a lot of corporations, will be very, very excited to see what they're going to propose.
Well, we've certainly seen the president begin to sell things and to sell the need for tax reform in a way that he didn't from the health care battle. We know the White House did a little bit of after-action reports on that in terms of what they could learn from it. Gene Marks, appreciate it as always, my friend. Good to see you.
Thanks, Leon. Oh, and a belated happy birthday.
You're very kind to remind me. Thank you, Heather.
Take care.
Yeah, a lot of work. You know, the House